One of the biggest days in sporting history. It's the Wimbledon final day. And I can't believe what we've just watched. Carlos Alcaraz crushing Novak Djokovic in straight sets at Wimbledon to beat him again in the final. This is my reaction. Here we go. Eat, sleep, Wimbledon, repeat. Carlos Alcaraz defeats Djokovic 6-2, 6-2, 7-6 to win Wimbledon for the second year in the row. What a player this guy is. I think the first thing I want to speak about is that was probably the best Carlos Alcaraz tennis performance I have ever witnessed. I think he saved his best to the very end. I think he wasn't that great in the semi-final, and he peaked when it mattered against the most successful tennis player we have ever seen in Novak Djokovic. Nobody has more slams than him. He was in his 10th Wimbledon final today, and he was completely crushed. We started with a 14-minute game in which Djokovic was broken. And from that moment on, Alcaraz absolutely dominated him. More winners, great serving, incredible returning. There was a period he had a serve rating of 9.1. The tour average is something like 6.5. And what he's done now is shown that he isn't just one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world who can challenge the very best. And statistically, he is doing better than anyone else who's ever played the game. He's got better numbers than Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic at such a young age. And this tweet here is just amazing as well because it shows some of it. It says, Carlos Alcaraz, the youngest male player in the Open era to complete the Channel Slam, winning Roland Garros and Wimbledon in the same year. Nobody that young has done it. It's such a difficult task to do, to win on the clay and then on the grass courts. We've got this one there, and this is the age of winning Roland Garros and Wimbledon for the first time in the same year. Alcaraz 21, Nadal 22, Federer 27, Djokovic 34. What he is doing is unheard of, and his numbers speak volumes. It's, well, this one is a great tweet, what shows it all, and that's Bastian Facken putting it out, saying 4 Grand Slams on all surfaces. He's now got 2 Wimbledons, 1 Roland Garros and 1 US Open. The second player after Federer to go 4 and love in the first 4 Slam finals. He doesn't look like he's going to lose a Slam final. He's good in 5-set matches. He's got stamina. He won one of the longest runs to a final in the US Open to win his first one. He's the first male teenager to become world number 1, 5 Masters 1000s. He's brilliant at Indian Wells. He can win on the clay courts, the hard courts. It doesn't matter what it is. He is sublime. And I'm not getting carried away when you look at him and what Sinner's doing as well. And the tennis is in great hands. It's going to be between them two to win a lot of slams. I don't see Djokovic ever winning one again. And this maybe was his last chance in a Slam final, but we'll have to wait and see on that. He's gone with the greatest 21-year-old we've ever seen. And I would agree completely with that. This is another one, and that is Carlos Alcaraz has now won more majors than any male singles player, not named Nadal, Djokovic, or Federer in this century. So, yeah, he's on a really good run, and I feel Jannik Sinner is going to be someone who can stop him in some tournaments, in some events when he plays his best. But we've just got to enjoy the versatility of Alcaraz. Today, we saw some amazing winners. And I mean, on the run, the way he can cover all of the court, it reminds me of a prime Nadal and a prime Djokovic, the way he covers the court. He's so fast, maybe faster than them. He can cover every blade of grass. Even when Djokovic looked like he was going to win the point, Alcaraz is there just for another ball over the net. His returning is sublime. He was thundering aces at 136 mile an hour, unreturnable serves, and Djokovic had no answers for large parts of the match. I'm going to get into some other assessment of the match in a second, but let's go through some more tweets. And that is Carlos Alcaraz, 21 years, 70 days, the 3rd youngest player in the Open era to win the men's singles title at Wimbledon in back-to-back editions after Becker and Borg. The difference is you feel he has so much resolve, and you're confident he's going to be there for many years to come. We feel Carlos Alcaraz at the start of his journey, with the way science is going, who knows when tennis players are going to retire in 2040. We don't know what technology is going to be there then. And sports scientists and psychology, we'll have to wait and see. But the way he's tracking, it is close to potentially breaking all records in tennis. That's how it feels at the moment. And I'm not getting carried away when I say that. On to the match itself. And I'm going to speak about Djokovic a little bit here as well. Maybe I'll go back to the roaring Alcaraz for this one. The third set, well, the first two sets, Alcaraz dominated him and Djokovic had no answers whatsoever. He looked like he didn't want to be out there. His body language was off. We don't know if there's any problems with the knee. He wasn't roaring. He wasn't getting angry with the crowd. There was no violins. There was nothing really. And Djokovic just looked very defeated. He didn't take a toilet break after losing the second set, just straight out there. And it just felt like he was like, well, I can't win this match. Alcaraz, I'm going to just hand it on a plate. And I've never seen that from Djokovic. Third set, however, that did change. Djokovic's first serve went up drastically. He was finding about 85% first serves and winning a lot of them as well. So dominant behind it and was a better player for large spells. Alcaraz then got to the end of the set, managed to break him and was 5-4 up, serving for the championship. We saw the same level from him in the next few points. Gets it to 40 love. I announced on the stream, I sat back, the match is done. Carlos Alcaraz, he's not going to lose from this position. He's looked amazing and Djokovic can't touch him. And I've never witnessed something like that or a feeling like that watching tennis in my life. I highly recommend watching it if you've not seen it. I'm sure most of you have. But what then unfolded is insane. I mean, Alcaraz crumbled. Djokovic was resilient and strong. He made him play an extra ball. And Alcaraz missed after miss after miss. Poor serving, lets, second serves, wayward. It was awful. And at that moment, you're starting to think, I think Djokovic is going to win this third set. And then who knows what's going to happen from the position of 3 championship points. Then we find ourselves in a tie break. In that tie break, Alcaraz then had a bit of a lead again and he restored himself and managed to close it out. But gosh, credit to Novak Djokovic. And I want to say some kind words about him. He would never go out without a whimper. And he just showed, even if his level's not there, even physically, if he's not feeling it and he's not had a great year, you're never going to see him just bow out in a Grand Slam final without showing something. And at least we got to see 5 minutes maybe of real magic where he kept himself there. And it maybe wasn't all him. It was Alcaraz making mistakes. But still, I thought he was making mistakes because Djokovic was there. If it's other players, you don't do that. And Djokovic creates fear factor to your opponent. And that's how I saw it. And a few words on Novak Djokovic and what it now means for him. We've got Scott saying, Djokovic looking like he's in desperate need of someone in the crowd to call him a piece of beep. And I understand that. I think he just needed a little bit of hatred towards him, some booing or something to G him up because the tennis was not being produced and he needed something. I don't think Novak Djokovic is now going to win another slam. I think me and Ben have been right with a lot of what we've said. We didn't put him as a top 5 contender for Wimbledon for a reason. And in this current state of play, for me, Djokovic is only just a top 10 player, and that is fractionally. He is between 7, 8, 9, maybe the 10th best player in the world right now. I wouldn't put him any higher. And unfortunately, it's very difficult to win slams if that's what your level is at. He was very fortunate with the draw. And I'm sure Djokovic fans may disagree with some things I'm saying. But today, there was levels apart. And Alcaraz absolutely dominated him. But there we go. That's my thoughts of the Wimbledon final. Credit to Carlos Alcaraz. What an amazing performance. Brilliant tennis player. And he's going to win many more slams, I'm sure. Novak Djokovic, it was crushing. And it showed the difference in level. I'm not sure if he's going to be back at a slam level in a final again, but we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for watching. Make sure if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And come on, England, let's go. It's coming home.